Okay, so here we are, part 3 then. Quite exciting to get started on this lovely tree frog again. So as I said in the last video at the end, we'll carry on down the body, and so we've got these lovely markings down the side here. I'm going to get the top a bit of the green in first, so I'm going to go with the earth green yellowish with the polychrome. And we haven't done any highlights up here yet, so we'll do all this in one go. But we'll just start with the earth green yellowish, and we'll just put these sort of circly motions in. Seems to be working quite well. And as we come further down, we've got some lighter cream bits, so we don't want to go all the way down. So looking at this one, I'll come down to about there, and then it sort of goes into a creamy bit. Bit more in there. Okay, just come down to the leg here then. So I think this will be quite a quick one actually. We haven't got the, I'm not going to bother doing a background, so I think, you know, just doing the frog, well obviously in the little branches on as well. Yeah, I don't think it would take too long. Okay, so let's go up to the Holbein now, the olive yellow, sort of bringing in this nice olive colour. And then let's go back to polychrome. We've got the green gold, and just add a touch of that in as well. Right, so let's just darken up a couple of places, like coming along down towards the middle. So I've got the olive green yellowish, and let's put some coming down from this sort of third, is it the third bit? Well, the bit by the leg anyway, just to sort of darken it up a little bit here. Okay, let's put this cream bit in. I'm just sort of blocking in the colours at the moment, and then we'll sort of go back in with the detail. So let's go back to the cream and just do this sort of lighter bit. Right, so I've got the dark indigo here, so getting these blue bits in. So we've got two lines coming across, so I think it'd be good to just get them in with the dark indigo, and then we can sort of work around it. So we've got this bit up here, just above the leg, which sort of swoops down. So I'm just going to bring this bit up a little bit, and then just sort of do a bit of a line. We'll mind the little white bits there, so we won't go into them. Actually, there's one there, I'll take that out in a minute. So yeah, we've got these little white bits here, which I'm going to take out because I keep going into them. And it goes into that dark bit there. Just get my eraser quickly. Just take the blue out there. Okay, and then let's do the next one. Right, so we've got like a little V shape there. And it will just sort of help us where we are on the little markings here. Okay, so we've got this lighter one here. So I'm just sort of plotting where these shapes are. I'm just sort of very lightly drawing them. Okay, so that one goes up there. Right, so that one does come across there. So yeah, just take your time and just look at the reference photo, and we'll just do a section at a time. but it's quite a nice in-depth, you know, little area, so it'd be nice to just sort of take our time and get all the creases in and the colours. Okay, then we've got a tiny little one up there. Right, so we've got our shapes in now then, so it's just a matter of filling them in. Right, so let's start with this one here then. We've got the bluish turquoise, no, helio turquoise. So let's just put a bit more in this one here. Put a bit more in there. That's it, and then let's come over to this one here. I need to just erase that line there. That's it. Okay, and then I think it was in damp from blue to go over that. Put a little bit in there. And let's just go over that crease that's coming through. I've got the dark indigo back, and I'm going to start darkening in areas, so up the top here. Do a bit in the middle. And then let's go over that crease. Okay, I was going to get the cocoa actually. The cocoa in the Pablo. Just go over these little creases here. Okay, and also this one while I've got it. Okay. Still got the indigo now. Just going to lightly shape this one up here a bit better. Got a very sort of thin line up the top there, and then it goes off into the cream. Okay, and then let's come over to this next one. I'm just going to go over that line. We've got this little square one down here as well, haven't we? This little one hiding. Okay, so let's go to the Helio Turquoise and do what we've just done with the other one. Alright, and then the indamp from blue. Going over those creases again. Alright, and then let's go back to the dark indigo. Alright, back with the Helio Turquoise. Let's get this one in as well. So yeah, we'll get them all in and then we'll refine it a bit. Okay, and then indamp from blue. So this one is quite a bit darker. This little shape. Just go over that line. And then the dark indigo. Just wondering about putting a bit of Delft blue, but we'll see. Let's put a bit of indigo over here. I'm going to add a bit of Delft blue as well, I think, especially to this one. Put a bit in there. Bit along this one, and then we'll not sure if I use the slice tool or the Tombow, maybe a bit of both. We need to sort of darken up that as well. I don't really want to use the black, I don't think. Let's give it a go. I don't want a sort of a black line, so I'm just sort of smoothing it off, but we need it quite dark. That's actually not too bad. So I'm sort of blurring it as well. Let's do that little line in there. Just get the cocoa back. And then let's do some white, not the white bits, but we'll get the warm grey one and just fill in those little sort of lighter areas. So I've got the warm grey one and just fill in these bits. Where's my Tombow? Just want to take out a little, oh, my little rubber keeps falling out of my pen. I just want to take out a little bit in there. That's it. Right, while we've got this, let's just fill in this bit here for base layer. Right, so let's go back to these markings. I've got the Tombow eraser here, so I'm going to start lightening some areas. So let's come back to this one here. Just sort of take out some colour there, just sort of lightening where it needs it. Let's come over to this one. we've got quite a, like almost like a light area there, quite a light above the dark line that we've put in. I think I will be needing the slice tool as well, just for the smaller bits, but I'm just going to do this sort of middle bit here. Okay, let's give that a bit of a brush. Okay, and then let's get the slice tool and just take out a little bit more with this. I'm just going to sort of like do little round circles and just take little bits out. We can always put it back in if we're not happy, so you can't really get it wrong. Turn my blade around, it's better. I'm just going to go back in with the damp from blue and just add a little bit more detail. So we've got a bit of a green coming along the top here as well, so coming into the blue. Bring this one out a bit more. Okay, so let's get the green. I think the Holbein, the olive yellow, and let's sort of put a bit of that into the blue up the top here. And over here as well. Let's put some more here. So what I want to do now is get in some of these little white bits. Now I've been using the Pablo, but I've just thought of the Museum Aquarelle, which you can use wet. So I'm just wondering if that would be a good pencil to use. Otherwise use the white Pablo, but I just thought I'd give this a go. So I've just dipped it in water. I'll see if it works any better than the white Pablo. Dip it in water again. I think it'd be quite good to use in places. You don't need a lot of it, but hopefully you can see that that does help quite a bit actually. I'm going to do a bit on the top of his arm there. Okay, well I think that's worked quite well. Right, so what I think we'd do, just let that sort of dry off a bit. I've just got the eraser and I thought I'd do some highlights on the back. And yeah, so with the eraser, just going to take a bit out and then maybe use the wet Aquarelle pencil. Okay, give that a clean. And we'll do what we just did with the Museum Aquarelle white. I'm just going to put it in a holder. Okay, so I've just dipped it in water, so let's just sort of, it's almost like sort of painting. And it will just add a nice little highlight. We'll refine them a bit once it's dry, so it doesn't just look like white blobs on the surface. But I think that's going to be a good way to go. Just gives that a little bit more brightness to the Pablo there. I just sort of do irregular patterns as well, just rather than just sort of little circles. Okay, so it's quite light coming down this bit. Okay, and that'll be okay. We don't want to sort of overdo it. Let's just brighten in there a little bit more. Let's just put my focus on. I just want to sort of brighten that up there a little bit. Might be good to use them around here as well. But let's just sort of tidy that up a bit. So let's go back to the blue bits. I'm going to get the ink damp from blue, I think. And just sort of refine it a bit so we haven't got like, so it sort of goes in with the pattern rather than just like white paint on top. So I just want to sort of soften it a little bit there. I'm just very lightly sort of touching it and dabbing it there. So hopefully that makes sense. And then let's come along here. I'm wondering if the olive green yellowish actually might be a good colour. So I've got the olive green yellowish. I'm sort of just going around them and just taking the edge off. And while I've got this colour, let's just darken a bit coming down here. Right, so I think what would be good now then is to get his little belly in. We've got the dark bit under here as well to get in. So yeah, I think we'll get that in, and then we'll sort of check it all over, make sure we've got it dark enough. So I'm going to start with the Caput Mortuum Violet to do this extra dark bit that's in the shade. Got this little area. It's quite dark in there, but I don't want to just go in straight black. I want to add a bit of a red. That's my dog helping herself into my cupboard by the sounds of it. She likes to hide her toys in there. Just go over that again. Okay, and then we've got this bit here. I think we're going to go with the Caput Mortuum. We've got the warm grey one down. I think what I'm going to do is just give it a light cover of the Caput Mortuum. Okay, just thinking of a dark sepia or the walnut brown. I'm going to go with a dark sepia, I think. So I've got the dark sepia, and I'm going to come over the Caput Mortuum Violet. I just want to sort of come in over to the light bit as well in places. Just I don't want a straight line. Just bring that up a bit further there. I think maybe the cocoa with the Pablo next. So I've got the cocoa here. I'm just going to bring that up as well. I might put in a bit of burnt sienna actually, I think. This wasn't quite what I was after. It's fine, it will just add to the depth there. We'll be taking a lot of this out anyway when we put the scales in. So yeah, I'm going to get my burnt sienna and put a bit of that in. I've got burnt sienna here. then I'm just going to get the warm grey one and just sort of blend that at the top here. Okay, and then I'm going to grab the black and just darken this up down the bottom where it's really dark. I'm just going to sort of drift that over what we've just done with the black here. Just want a sort of continuation of all the colours. Okay, that's fine. Right, so we've got all our colours in then. So what I'm going to do now is get the Tombow and try and create these little marks, these little scaly type patterns. Okay, so I've got a clean eraser then. So I'm going to start from the top end. And we're just going to sort of like create this pattern. I was going to use a battery eraser, but I think it will just take out too much. So making sure they're not all the same pattern. Okay, so what we're doing now, I'm going to get the Cabot Molten Violet. I'm going to draw around those shapes. Like a mosaic. Just going to add another Tombow gun. I had it a minute ago. I just want to take out a little bit more. They're quite close together. sort of don't make them the same sort of shape as each other, and make irregular. And then I'm going to get the warm grey one and just sort of go into them and soften the Caput Morton Violet there. Sort of push them back down again. Okay, I'm going to get my damp from blue back and just sort of tidy up the edge on the patterns. Get the right colour, that's Delph. There you are. So I've got the damp from blue. And sort of emerge them together there. We're getting there. Just wondering if I've done mine big enough, the scaly bits. Getting my eraser, I don't know if I can make some of them a bit bigger. And let's just get the Caput Morton Violet back. They're quite close together, and I've kind of made them a bit more smaller on mine, so I'm just going to make them a bit bigger there. Okay, that's better. Just got the warm grey one here. Right, I'm going to get the burnt sienna and just sort of bring this through the patterns down here, like this sort of browny colour. quite a nice warm brown, and it will just go over the Caput Mortuum quite nice. I'm going to sort of gently shade some of them on the bottom here. And then they get lighter coming up. And then I think I might use the white Pablo and just sort of brighten up the top here a little bit. Go back with the burnt sienna. I just want to put a few sort of browny bits up the top here. Got some little brown bits coming over the blue, and sort of trying to get a nice transition between all the colours there. I'm going to grab my cocoa and just add a few more little lines there on the white bits. So we've got this little bit here. We've got a couple of little sort of kinks in there. Okay, and I'm going to add a bit more cream actually to the lighter bits here. I just want a bit of cream over, just in a few places. Just to finish up, I just want to get my olive green yellowish and just put a bit down here. And I think we're pretty much there with this little area. Just do a bit of tinkering. It might be good to do a bit of the aquarelle on the feet as well. Yeah, let's get the museum aquarelle and just add a few more. Just dip that in water and just add a few more sort of highlights. Okay, as well. Kind of need it to go a bit tacky sometimes, and then it seems to work a bit better. So wherever I want it lighter, I'm just sort of doing a few highlights with this. And let's add a bit down here as well. Clean. Just got my dark chrome yellow, and I'm just going to go over that a little bit. Doesn't look quite as good as I want it to. So yeah, you can go over that aquarelle pencil if you want to. I'll just turn the light off and just having a quick look over it. I do just want to soften up, just sort of coming around here. So I've got the Cabot Morton Violet, and I'm just going to sort of gently bring it across. So we haven't got sort of like a straight line. So I'm just going to gently go over the edge and soften it. Just do it all the way along. And it sort of just takes it back, and it sort of connects better with the surrounding areas. So I think I'm going to leave the video there then. I think we're making good progress. So yeah, I'll see you on the next one.